Storytime part 2. So there I am, projectile vomiting, and she's standing there looking at me. Are you okay? With this little devilish grin on her face. I'm like, no, I ain't okay. I said, look at me, do I look okay? And so, but I've got to go to Chattanooga to get this methadone because it's Saturday, and they're closed on a Sunday, so they give you a take-home. So if I didn't go Saturday, I wouldn't have Saturdays or Sundays. I wouldn't get none until Monday. And so I tell her, hey, I need you to take me to Chattanooga. And she's like, all right. And when she says it, I just kind of got this feeling like she knew I was going to Chattanooga or whatever. And so we get in our car and we're headed out. At this time, I don't know what I can drink, what I can't. So I try to take a sip of water and start throwing up again. Ginger ale, throwing up again. 7-Up, throwing up again. But I could drink a little bit of Gatorade at a time, yellow Gatorade, that's it. So I get to Chattanooga and they take and pour that methadone in water, or pour water in the methadone and you drink it. And so I'm telling them, look, I've been sick all morning. I don't think I can hold this down. They said, well, we won't put it in water. We'll just let you drink it or whatever. And then you sit here for 15 minutes and see if it stays down. I start, cool, whatever. And so I do it, I drink it, and I hold it down. So I get in the car and we're leaving. And by the time I get to the top of Mount Eagle Mountain, it's about the time you usually would fill your dose. I don't feel nothing at all. So finally, man, we make it back to our house. I just want to get somewhere and lay down. So I get in my truck and I go home. And when I get home, I drink the other dose of methadone. And I'm laying there, I don't know, about 30, 45 minutes, and I get up and start throwing up again. But what I realized I could do was I could smoke some of the lettuce, and it would keep me from being nauseated for a little while. So I did that. And then it took me about a week to get over the sickness, and I lost a lot of weight, everything. And but me and her are still talking or whatever, and so it was the weekend for me to see her, and we're sitting there at her house, and next thing I know, man, we were sitting on the couch, and she's in my lap trying to stab me with a knife. And I get the knife away from her or whatever, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? She says, I know about you seeing all these other women. I said, so? We wasn't in no exclusive relationship. We were just seeing each other. Yes, we were. You knew we was more than blah, blah, blah. You could just imagine how it was. I said, you poisoned me, didn't you, with that food? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You were just sick. You just had some kind of stomach flu or something. I was like, yeah, it was a bad MFer if it was. And so I was like, look, girl, it's time for us to split ways. We ain't no sense in us even trying to make this work. And so about a week passes or something like that. And this is like in July. And she calls me and asks me, do I know a certain girl's name? And I was like, no. She said, really? You was effing her on Valentine's Day? And I was like, oh shit. She said, I don't ever want to talk to you again. I was like, look, we already wasn't talking to each other. That's that on that. Well, I come home one night. I live way out in the country at this time. It's real dark out there. I live with my uncle. And she's sitting in the driveway. And I pull up and I'm thinking, what is this girl doing now? And so I get out and I walk over and she rolls the window down. She's sitting there butt naked. She said, yeah, we're not going to be together anymore, but I thought we'd have sex one last time. And I said, yeah, might as well. Oh, boy. And